welcome back. As I talked about last time, I was going to put together a light beer that would be a light ale. So I looked online, saw a couple things that people had done, went into Beersmith and came up with a formula. And it's basically 7 pounds of 2-row and then 12 ounces of caramel crystal 10. And that's all that's in it. And we're going to use Cascade hops and Saf Ale US-05 for the yeast. So the first thing we have to do is get our strike water up to temperature, and in this case we have to get it up to about 163 degrees. And then we'll put it into the mash tun and add the grains, get everything going there, let it sit for an hour. Then we'll come back, we'll do the sparge, run it off into our brew kettle, and this should be an interesting experiment to see how this turns out. And I've had American Lite before that's made by Brewer's Best, and that's a really light, nice summer beer. So I'm hoping this is at least that good, but we'll find out. So anyway, I'll put the recipe on here for you guys, so if you want to try it after you see, after we take it all the way through and we actually do a taste test on it, if it turns out good, maybe you want to give it a shot yourself and see how it turns out. But this should be pretty good, I think. And I was looking for something to kind of take the spot of the American Light and an all grain, so we'll see if this fits the bill. Not sure if you guys can see this or not, but there's 3.7 gallons of water in the mash tun. And I'm adding our 7 pounds of 2-row and 14 ounces, I believe it was 14 ounces of caramel crystal 10. Again, the whole key here is just to make sure you don't get any dough balls. Everything beyond this step is just exactly the same once you get down into your boil kettle as it would be if you were using an extract. We're going to let this sit. Once this is all stirred in here, we're going to let this sit for, I believe, 1 hour. But again, I'll leave the recipe online, so if it's anything different than that, I'll certainly let you know. Okay, so back in a little bit. Okay, we've done the first runnings, which actually had a stuck sparge, which is the first time I have to say that I've ever had that. And it was a bit of work to actually get it unplugged, but we're running now, and we're sparging, and you can see again, all I'm really trying to do is match the rate that's flowing down into the brew kettle. Now this is a very light colored beer, which is about what you'd expect for a light ale, so should be interesting to taste it and see how it compares to some of the other brews that I've had that were on the light side. So anyway, this is going to go on for probably about an hour or a little more than an hour, and then we'll come back and start the boil. Okay, we have a rolling boil started here. So time to put in the Cascade hops. This is a 1/2 ounce of Cascade, and this will go for 1 hour. So in about 40 minutes I'll throw the Wort chiller in, and then with 3 minutes left in the boil we're going to put 1 ounce of Cascade hops in. So that'll be it. Back when there's 3 minutes left in the boil. Okay, as you can see I have the Wort chiller in, and I thought I would show you something kind of interesting that I rigged up. I think you've all heard me complain about how I can't seem to get a good chill going here in Texas. Well, now that the temperatures have cooled off outside, I'm actually using my swimming pool as a big chiller. So I'm running a hose off the pump here, and then that'll go to the chiller inside. And then from the chiller coming out of the Wort, it goes into this hose, which I have running all the way back to the swimming pool. So the pool water is 47 degrees, and that's a lot cooler than the 81 degree tap water that we had in the summer. So I've done this twice now, and it works great. It chills down in about a half an hour. I've got it down to 70 degrees. So anyway, that's my solution so far. Now I just have to brew a bunch of beer in the winter so I don't have to deal with the warm temperatures in the summer. So we'll be back when we've got 3 minutes left in the boil. Okay, and now we're on a 3-minute boil with 1 ounce of the Cascade hops. So next step is to really just chill it down and aerate the wort and put it in the fermenter with the airlock, and we're done. All right, time to aerate the wort. And always boil your stone. Remember to boil your stone and then sanitize it. And as I mentioned, I always like to take it out, leave it running, and then go drop it in the sanitizer while it's running. So we'll be back after I have the yeast pitched and the airlock on. Hey, 20 minutes to get down to 68 degrees. That is a major improvement. So that's it for making light beer, brewing it anyway. Now, how it's going to turn out when we taste it, well, that could be another thing altogether. But I got my fingers crossed. I think it went pretty well. And there's the Kolsch. So I'll put the recipe online and give it a whirl if you feel like you're a risk taker before we find out how this turns out. Otherwise, wait for the taste test, probably about 6 weeks from now, maybe a little bit longer, and hey, we'll find out how this experiment turned out. And hope you guys have a great Homebrew Wednesday, a great week, and cheers. This has been a Matty Boy presentation. Say bye-bye, Matty.